Well, good morning everybody and welcome to that Kentuckessee Angler Show. Today we're getting into some creek fishing and talking all about that Dobyns Sierra Ultra Finesse lineup. We're gonna start out catching a few fish on this rod, exploring an absolutely gorgeous Tennessee creek, and then I'm gonna take y'all back to the place. We're gonna do a deep dive on this rod, a really solid review. I've owned it for a while and I know a lot about its strengths and weaknesses. Lure wise, I did bring a variety. However, these two are gonna be my bread and butter in this creek. We got some Z-Man TRDs right here and we have some Yum 3-inch soft plastic grubs. Between these two baits, we should be able to hammer some nice fish out of this area, though I did bring a couple other lures to experiment with out here. Today we're going to be fishing the Dobyns SUF700C. This is a 7-foot light powered moderate action rod with an extra fast tip. So bait wise, we're working with a Z-Man TRD. We got a 1/15 ounce net head on there, and I'm running 6-pound fluorocarbon down to a Corrado BFS, my reel of choice when it comes to this rod. Now there should be a fish sitting right out here up against this bank. Let me try to get that skunk off my back. Let's see how long this takes, what this bite's gonna be like this morning. It's been extremely hot in my area. We're looking at getting into the 90s by about 9 a.m. So there's that. There we go. There we go. What are we working with, man? Beautiful, man. That's a chunky one. So our first fish of the day, first species, a beautiful little rock bass. Gorgeous. As is tradition, I had to show off that first fish of the day. Gotta be thankful for it. Something's biting, giving me a little bit of faith in this water. We have a gorgeous little rock bass, man. Hard fighter, underrated fish. There's a lot of them in this creek. We're probably gonna catch a few more today, though we do have largemouth, spotted, smallmouth, all those coveted fish, trout, that sort of thing. Let's get her back in. I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for biting. So we're just about at our second spot, and due to the heat wave that just kind of came out of nowhere, I have a feeling we're going to be pulling these fish out of high flow areas. That's just where we're headed right now, and kind of these slacker pockets that neighbor them. I do have to get down this. This GoPro never gives it justice. This is some steep stuff, man. The goal is to get low and not eat it right now. Okay. And that tree is not attached to the ground. That's fun. Almost put all my weight on that. And here we are to a stunning and very productive stretch of creek. As I mentioned, we got some high flow stuff right down here, and we got some kind of slack pockets. It kind of chills out over here. This is very, very shallow. However, I have a feeling we're gonna be able to pull some up against the bank. I typically can. We're gonna continue working our Ned rig, and we're just gonna slap it up against this bank. We got that higher flow point right down there. We're about to go work that little pocket over there in a minute, but first I have a feeling our next fish is gonna come out of this area. I could only hope. Now this rod is rated for 1/16 to 5/8 ounce in the weight department. When we're talking line, there we go, it's a fish. It's 2 to 8 pounds. This feels like another one of those rock bass. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Well, that worked out well, man. Called that one. Another pretty fish, a little bit smaller, man. My personal preference in the line to weight range for this rod, I like 6-pound line, 6-pound fluorocarbon, and I love running 3.5 to about 6.5 grams. I find that weight range is really, really comfortable. We'll say 5 is like the ultimate weight for working baits on this rod. Right now we're running about 6.1 grams with this TRD, and we're gonna get it back in, see if we can pull another little one out of this area, and we're gonna head over there and fish that little sector out, man. Guarantee you we're gonna be able to pull another fish out of there. So we're gonna do a quick bait swap really quick before I hit the area right behind me. We're changing up to that Yum 3-inch grub in green pumpkin. I got that rigged on a 1/8 ounce round bend hook. It is slightly smaller in profile and it weighs a little bit less. I want to say this weighs just above 4 grams, and that TRD was roughly 6.1 grams off the top of my head, but I'm going to tie this up. We're going to get it on the water. So we're working our way up into this little nook right here. There's probably fish staged up on this bank. I've fished this area before. I have caught them there before, but we have our arch nemesis, the old tree branch right here. It's a pain in the butt to cast around, and running this bait parallel to the bank when it might get us hit, I know if I make the effort to make it all the way over there, if that's even possible. I'm not sure about the depth, but it is getting significantly deeper over here. This stuff's really, really shallow, but if I can walk my way over there, we can probably pull some fish out of this little spot. Now, when it comes to running different baits on this rod, I love using it for soft plastics, man. Little grubs, Ned rigs, baits I can just kind of throw in, smaller profile, soft plastics, twitch around. They're so much fun to work with this rod. Even marabou jigs, that was one of the first baits I ever threw on this, which I had a ton of fun with. I did bring some little jerk baits. It's an all right rod for that. Initially, I thought it would be great for poppers. Didn't really enjoy how the action played on those topwater poppers. I'll put it that way. You might have a completely different experience with it, and that's awesome. More power to you. Work whatever you want on it, but I'm telling you, it is a lot of fun to run smaller, soft plastic lures on. Well, they can't all be winners, can they? We're back to this little area we were just fishing out. I'm gonna throw a cast, kind of restore my confidence in this water, and then we're gonna make the trek over there to that little island. I typically can pull little smallies out of here. I don't know what's going on today. The bass just haven't been eating the way they typically do, surely due to that heat we've been having. Or it could just be my inability to catch them right now. That's gonna be a fish or a snack for sure, one or the other. Dang it, they're like right up against this bank. There we go, that's a fish. That feels decent. It's probably another one of these little rock bass. Surely is. Now let's go journey over there. I am thankful for you though. Something's biting out here. Before we make our jump out here, I am going to change out reels. This one is spooled up with 4-pound fluorocarbon. Now let me get this bad boy on here just to show that this rod can handle it. When it comes to the line range, I did mention I prefer 6-pound, I really do, but you can absolutely get away with 4-pound. It's not bad. Got a little knot in there. You can get away with 8-pound as well, though. I typically run these with BFS type reels, and 8-pound really lessens your line capacity on there. 2-pound, I don't know what that's about. That's gonna be like, it's gonna feel like working a pool cue. I can't imagine I would never throw 2-pound on this rod. So I've hiked the pants up as far as I can. Let's see how deep this gets. And once I start getting into that pocket level, that's about the time I start thinking about turning around out here. And we're getting pretty deep. It's getting pretty deep, man. We've made it. Mission successful. Let's hit this pocket. I'm gonna set my camera up somewhere around here. It's definitely starting to heat up out here. It's getting, oh my gosh. Look what I've done, dude. Bruh, no. So after realizing I hastily mislined my rod, I've decided to tie on the old Rebel hopper. Since we're working 4-pound anyway, this bait with the 1/16 ounce jig head is gonna weigh in at just under 3 grams. So we're gonna get this out here. I'm gonna lose a little bit of control, but we are working 4-pound now, so we'll see how she performs out on the water. I don't typically like running baits this light on this rod, but I guarantee you we're gonna be able to catch a fish with it. There we go. That's what we're looking for out here. And my, it's fighting hard in that current. It's probably the same thing, maybe. I don't know. It's actually kind of pulling drag, so maybe not. It's not huge, I'll tell you that much. It's just harder to seal the deal when they're running wild in this current. There we go. Come on. A little chubby. No, what are we working with? Hey, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Little smallie. About time when you came to bite, and she's just absolutely gorgeous. Just take a look at that fish, man. Very, very beautiful. Well, there we go, my friend. She's absolutely gorgeous. She's kind of perched up there under that tree, and I couldn't be more thankful for her. Just a beautiful smallie. I mean, look at the coloring on her. I've caught a lot of smallies out of this creek, and this is one of the healthiest, prettiest little guys I've ever seen. I'm gonna get her back in. You're not huge, man, but you're something to be thankful for, that's for sure. Thanks for biting, buddy. Oh, and off she goes to that super oxygenated water. That smallie was absolutely gorgeous and super uplifting. For a second, I was thinking the only fish I was gonna be able to catch out here were rock bass, but instead of walking all the way back, we made the effort to get here. We waded through that deep water. Let's check out the surrounding area. Now, I have fished this from the other side before, but I've never hit it from this angle. We'll see if anything's kind of chilling out in this area. This stuff right here up against this rock, that could be holding smallies. So we're gonna hit this slack water right here. Now this Rebel hopper is a super cool bait. I do have a video on it. I'll link it in the description if you want to see it fished more. It catches just about everything. Also have one catching some larger bass, some larger fish on this rod that I'll link in there if you want to see some bigger catches. This creek typically isn't gonna be packing monsters. Occasionally you'll pull one out of here, but today I'm not 100% sure. We've had a difficult enough time. I'm gonna fish this area out, this slacker water. Let's see what we can do. So again, you can absolutely work these lighter baits on this rod. I don't think it's effective as that like 1/8 ounce to 6 gram range. That's where this rod really thrives, in my opinion. Again, this is all just my opinion, my experience with the rod. I do find I lose a good amount of casting distance, even when we downgrade it to 4-pound line. Also a little bit of bait placement. It's harder for me to place those casts quite as accurately with this lighter bait. There we go, that's a good fish. Right out of the rocks, man. What are we working with? Hey, I think that's another bass. No, rock bass. Classic. Pretty one though. I love the black on that bottom fin. I do want to hit this little kind of nook right before this grass line. Oh, there we go. Bass. Oh, yes. Right out of that flow, man. I really hope that showed up on camera. That was absolutely epic. I've caught a lot of fish. Rarely do I get to see them follow me in that crystal clear clarity and just bite on like that. Beautiful spot, man. There we go. We're leveling up, dude. Nice little smallie, nice little spot right out of that flow. Super pretty one, my friends, and they're digging the buggy stuff. I think I got like 3 of those hoppers jammed up in my little jig box, so we'll keep throwing them around. But really pretty spot. Just take a look at her, dude. Gorgeous, and I'm super thankful for you. And it looks like these high flow areas are just packing, man. You know, right out there in the current. Typically I look for them up against the banks of these sort of things, but not directly in the current. But they're loving that current, that highly oxygenated stuff. It is a lot cooler. I can actually feel the difference with my own feet in the water while I'm wading through it. But really pretty fish, man. Gorgeous. It's getting hot out here. We're gonna throw a few more casts, try to pull a couple more fish out of it. Thank you for biting, girl. And off she goes. I love it, man. Awesome, just a banger of a day. I almost didn't come out today due to the temps, but super glad I did. Super glad I decided to come out and try to make this video out here. Well, I hope y'all have enjoyed the video. I had a great time making this one. As always, if you have, drop a like, comment, subscribe. It all helps push the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Now let's get into our rod of the day. The rod we're reviewing, the Dobyns Sierra Ultra Finesse lineup. So the rod I was using in today's video was the 700C. So that SUF, the Sierra Ultra Finesse 700C. Now that's going to be a light powered 7-footer, and that's a moderate action with an extra fast tip. And let me tell you, the moderate action with the extra fast tip, I was hesitant on purchasing this rod at first. I never had anything like this, and I gotta say, I'm a really big fan. The Dobyns Sierra Ultra Finesse lineup was introduced in 2021 due to popular demand by anglers. Now I am pulling all of these specs straight up off of Dobyns' website, so I want full transparency and full accuracy when I am speaking on the composition of the rod. So there's that. Now this rod does come in 6 different models, everything from your 6'5" up to your 7'4", which is a very interesting length for a light rod and one I'd like to try out. I'm a huge 7'4" fan. When it comes to my medium rods, my go-to medium casting rod is a 7'4" fast action rod. So maybe one day I'll purchase that. However, I am a big fan of this one. Action-wise, we're working with your standard fast action tips right there up to your moderate action bodies with your fast or extra fast action tip, which is a very fun build, man. I really like this one, and this is that moderate action with the extra fast action tip. Now these are all light powered and they're geared towards BFS, so your bait finesse reels. We're working with a high modulus graphite blank. We got a solid carbon tip on this bad boy. Fuji guides right here. We got a Fuji reel seat and Portugal cork. So who isn't a big fan of a good port? Now I will say it is very aesthetically pleasing. I like it. It's plain, it's simple, but it's sharp at the same time. You got these accents on the wrap right here. A little cool design. You got your Dobyns logo, and on the butt piece, let's try not to break this rod right now, you have another little Dobyns logo. Clean looking rod. Your threading right here is covered, which I'm a big fan of. I hate exposed threads that get all mashed up when you're laying your rod down on rocks like you probably shouldn't, but as a bank angler, it happens. So all around, very aesthetically pleasing rod. It's got nice hardware on it. I love the core. Performance-wise, this rod's exceptional. Dude, the action is absolutely awesome. I can't speak on the other rods, but I'd imagine they're all pretty solid. I'm a huge Dobyns fan, and I gotta say, I've only been ever disappointed with the one Dobyns rod's action, and we'll get into that in another video. This one though, it's exceptional, man. It is so much fun. It's very unique, that moderate extra fast tip. It's a ton of fun. As I mentioned in the video, I love twitching soft plastics on it. I love working marabou jigs, even smaller jerk baits. It is just, it's a blast. And this is certainly a bass rod. So if that's what you're wondering, you can absolutely catch a decent bass. Yeah, you're gonna have to work with them, man. You're gonna have to fight it for a while. It's a light rod. Obviously, you're not gonna be horsing it in like a medium heavy type rod, but you can certainly land a nice bass on this. And I've never once felt like I was gonna snap my rod. I felt overpowered, not gonna lie, man. I'm gonna post a video where I pull in like a 2.5 or 3 pounder, maybe a couple of them, I'm not sure how many. I got plenty of videos on this channel where I catch a nice bass on this, but I'll link one in the description so y'all can check that out. I know we caught pretty much fairly small fish. It was a small creek, man. This is a rod meant for fishing finesse small baits. What do you expect? But I'll link one. It's certainly a bass rod. That's what I'm getting at right now. I love the action. I love its on the water performance. It's very, very sensitive, what you'd expect with the Dobyns rod. I mean, it's a blast to fish with. I'll just put it that way. We're working with a very light rod and a very well-balanced rod. It's a pleasure to work with, but there is one mega issue, and I'm not sleeping on this. I'm gonna just describe what I've been having problems with. I haven't really researched this. I don't know if anyone else has. It's something I've been mitigating by myself, but it is a problem, and it's made me kind of disappointed. I know, straight up, before I even get into this, I have a lot of Dobyns rods. I have a lot of nice Dobyns rods. I've fished with everything from Furies to my go-to casting rod, which is your Champion HP Extremes. I use them a lot. If you follow the channel, chances are you've seen me working with them. I put a lot of faith into Dobyns rods, and this is the only one I've ever had an issue with when it comes to this certain thing, and I'm gonna tell you right now. So my guides, my micro guides right here, and this could just be rod specific. I'm gonna put that out there right now, but let me tell you, I haven't abused this rod. I've used it a lot, and I've used it in a lot of different conditions. But what I've been having problems with are these micro guides straight up popping out. I mean, if I wanted to, I could probably pull one out. Here we go. I mean, how easy was that? Look at that, man. So you can tell I've already re-glued it, and I have re-glued these guides several times. It's not just that one, so it's not like a one-off thing with one guide. It's straight up, I've lost like 3 or 4 of them over a period of time. I can literally see where I've glued these in. I have like a little Fuji repair kit, and I'll just kind of straight up dip the guide in the glue, stick it back in there, and yeah, it'll hold for a while, but every once in a while, I'll be ripping out a cast with this bad boy, and I'll hear like a cling, 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 and it's straight up that guide's like hanging on my line. And well, yes, it is an issue that I can somewhat fix myself. We're talking about a $200 rod here. And I have rods that I use a lot more than this one, and I've never had this issue before with guides coming unglued like that. I don't know what's going on with the glue they're using or the wrapping. Is this model specific? Maybe. Is it a major problem? Yeah, I kind of think so. If I were to break off and my guide were to pop out like that, I'd lose it. I have to seek out a replacement. You know, it can be done, it can be fixed, but it's just a pain in the butt that I feel like when we're talking about a $200 rod, it's an issue that I really shouldn't be having. And again, if it was a one-off thing, if it was due to me setting down the rod weird on a rock, picking it up in a weird way, just kind of like a flaw of one guide coming unglued, I get it. When it's like several guides popping out, and I probably have owned this for, I want to say like 2 years or something. It's not like I've had this since '89 or something crazy, man, but it's kind of an issue, and I don't know, it could just be my rod, but I have fixed it several times and I will continue to do so. And like I said, I will certainly buy this rod again because I love it, but I'd be curious if you have one of these rods and you're watching this video right now, if you've had that issue, let me know. So value-wise, we're looking at about 200 bucks. Right now, they're currently listed at $199 on the Dobyns website. So I think that this rod is worth every penny. I love it, but at the same time, I've addressed the issue I have with the guides. I don't think that should be a problem, and I'm not kind of labeling that as a huge problem because it could just be like, I got the lemon, who knows, man. I haven't read about anyone else experiencing this. Then again, I don't really look up this rod ever, so I haven't seen, I don't know. Would I buy it again? Yes, absolutely. My personal opinion on the rod, I'd probably pay, well, we don't want Dobyns to hear about that. Not that they'd watch this video, but I'd pay over $200 for this rod. I'll put it that way. It's a ton of fun to work with. If you got that, if you're looking at a BFS rod, I would highly recommend this rod. Overall, it's been a pleasure to fish with, and it's a rod I would absolutely buy again. Now, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and I hope you get some good fish on, my friends. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.